Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Convocation Center, home of your California Vulcans. Tonight, the Vulcans are ready to take on the Ursuline Arrows in an out-of-conference matchup. My name is J.J. Robinson, joined today by
Victoria Lang, and we've got a great matchup on deck between two programs looking to keep building momentum.
California enters at a 14-4 record, and this team has been rolling. Olivia Wiseman continues to be the spark, leading the way with 220 kills, and she's been the go-to option all season long. On the defensive side, Caroline Mercer commands the back row with 269 digs, while Lindsay Scammell has been a force to the net all season, racking up 81 blocks.
Ursuline, still searching for that first win at 0-14, brings plenty of determination and talent. Outside hitter Amy McCarthy has been a bright spot with 95 kills, while Veda Belts keeps the offense moving with 155 assists. On defense, Ari Nuvo anchors the backcourt with 131 digs, the heart and soul of Arrow's defense. Two teams with grit, skill, and something to prove. It's the Vulcans and the Arrows, and the first serve is moments away.
Like you said, Ursuline comes in with a 0-14 record. Definitely not the season that they were looking to have. Of course, 0-14, that means they have no wins. And it's going to be a tough matchup going up against the 14-4 Vulcans today. And it looked like Adriana Favada will have the first serve for the Vulcans as we get started in this first set. Favada is now back for the serve, getting ready to start off this first set. Ball served up and over, dug out, set to the close side of the court. Kill attempt is denied, but does go back over the net, and it goes towards the back. Nice reaction in one hand, and tipped at the net, but it goes back over. Ursuline looking for a free ball here. Into the block, and that does go out of bounds. Ursuline will get the first point of this game. California getting an unlucky bounce there. First point will go to the Arrows as the ball is served up and over. Set up. Kill coming from Wiseman. That is successful kill. Targeting the libero. Just goes right past the libero, and that will be at first California point.
Ursuline has some tough competition this time around.
Indeed they do. Olivia Wiseman with the point and with the serve. Ball is up and over. Low dig there. Set to the middle of the court. Diving effort. Stays in the air. Petrosevic sends it back over to the Arrows. Set now to the close side of the court, but goes towards the back. Mercer. Set now the close side. Tipped over in the back, and that is just in bounds. That will be a Ursuline points. Libero for Ursuline is now back to serve. Ball served up and over, dug out by Mercer. Favada to Stevenson. Stevenson off the hands of the Ursuline defender. It goes out of bounds. That is a California point. Caroline Mercer, number 10, libero for the California Vulcans. Now back to serve. Ball served. Set. To close side of the court, but denied off the libero. And that will go credited to either Sarah Stevenson or Lindsay Scammell. Caroline Mercer, once again, with the serve is up and over. Awkward dig there, but it does get in the air, and it's a free ball for the Vulcans. Scammell gets it to the outside. Petrosevic sends it to the back, but it will be just out of bounds. That will be an Arrow point. Excuse me. Looks like there was a violation on that. It will be a California point. Mercer with the serve high over the net. Nice reaction in. Scammell with a nice kill there, but it was unsuccessful. Towards the back. Favada to Petrosevic. Petrosevic goes just in bounds as it bounces out, but that will be a California point. Some substitutions now for the Arrows. And the serve is up and over, dug out by Wiseman. Favada to Petrosevic. Petrosevic with a kill attempt unsuccessful. Set up to the close, but it looks like it was tipped, and that will be a California point. That will be credited to Anna Marie Petrosevic. Now into the game comes Morgan Johnson and Eliza Ruggiero as Sarah Stevenson and Adriana Favada come out of the game. Morgan Johnson will now have the serve. Ball served up and over. Dug out. Set up to the close side of the court. Tipped by Scammell to keep it on their side of the court. Another block incoming, unsuccessful there. Set up, kill from Ruggiero off the hands, but it stays in bounds. Free ball back over. Diving effort there by Johnson keeps it in play, but that does go out of bounds. That will be a Ursuline arrow point.
That was a beautiful dive by Johnson.
Indeed it was. Kept the ball in the air. Unfortunately, it did go out of bounds. So it will be the Arrows with the serve. Ball served up and over. Dug out by Wiseman. Johnson sends it to the far side. Petrosevic attacking the back, and that does go out of bounds. That'll be another Ursuline point. Ursuline now with the serve is up and over. Dug out by Pasco. Johnson to Wiseman. Wiseman towards the back row, and that is in bounds. That is a California point as they retake the lead. Some substitutions. Petrosevic comes out for Lindenfelser. Okay, Lindenfelser now with the serve is up and over. Low dig there, and that goes directly out of bounds. That will be a service ace for Kay Lindenfelser. Lindenfelser, after the ace, is back for another serve. Ball served up and over. Dug out, set in the middle of the court to the close side. Kill attempt is denied at the net. The Arrows with some ability to do something, and California watches that drop off the attempted block by Scammell. There will be some substitutions on the side of Ursuline. Number 12 for the Arrows will have the serve. Ball is up and over, dug out by Pasco. Johnson to Scammell. Scammell with the point. Point, Vulcans.
I don't think Ursuline was expecting that.
No, definitely just coming in from the middle just to lay some power on the court. There's also some substitutions on the side of Ursuline. Scammell with the point and now with the serve. Dug out by the libero for the Arrows. Far side kill attempt, light off the hand, and it just drops in front of Ruggiero. Some more substitutions for the Arrows. It'll be number 4 for Ursuline now back for the serve. Ball's up and over, dug out by Lindenfelser. Johnson to Ruggiero, and that is a point for Eliza Ruggiero. Looks like as she gets a point, she will be subbed out for Sarah Stevenson and Adriana Favada. Adriana Favada now back for the serve. Ball is up and over, dug out. Set close to the net. Kill attempt is in bounds. That will be another Ursuline point.
I don't think California is expecting this from Ursuline.
Definitely not. Serve is up and over. Awkward dig there, but it stays in play as there's a free ball from Mercer back over. Low set there. Kill attempt coming. Unsuccessful. Mercer to the back. Stevenson denied at the net by McCarthy. Zilker now with the serve. Awkward dig there by the Vulcans, but Stevenson sends it successfully back over to Ursuline. Free ball, and that is very nice placement there by the Arrows. The Arrows take a 10-9 lead over the Vulcans. Ball served up and over. All dug out of bounds by Wiseman. And that is another point for the Arrows. Ball served up and over by McCarthy. Bumped into the air. Stevenson with the kill attempt is denied. Lyndon Felser going for the out-of-bounds play, unsuccessful. It looks like there will be a timeout called by the California Vulcans.
And that's the second time the back row tried to get that ball, but could not reach it.
Indeed, they cannot. This is definitely not what the Vulcans were expecting from Ursuline. Of course, sometimes you can come in a little overconfident in these kind of games, especially with a 14-4 record. But while we have a minute, let's look at a tail of the tape. If we take a look here at the tail of the tape, you'll see the Vulcans are outmatched, or matching the Arrows. California comes in with 13.2 kills per set. The Arrows only with 8.5. Assists per set goes to the Vulcans again, 13.3 to 7.9. Aces per set, just a little bit better than the Arrows at 1.2. Arrows with 1.1. Digs per set, 17.6 to the Arrows, 12.5. And blocks per set does once again go to the Vulcans at 2.3 to 1.1. So with those stats, you would assume that the Vulcans would have a strong lead already over the Arrows, but that is just not the case, as they are actually trailing to the Ursuline Arrows.
You can never judge a book by their cover.
No, definitely could be a situation of playing down to your opponent. As we've seen all year, California can be very dominant over teams like this, but they have to come in with the right mindset, and so far it looks like they just haven't come in with the right mindset. Favada to the middle, Stevenson, and it drops at the net. There'll be a point for California. It was a nice effort from Madison Morris to try and get that ball in the air, but it hit her once, and she just knew she had to let that drop after she knew she couldn't hit it twice. Ball served up and over. Set up now to the outside. Kill attempt off the hands of California, and that does come awkwardly off Olivia Wiseman. Another error from Wiseman, something that we've seen a couple times already just in this first set alone. Not very normal for her playing style.
No, in the last games we've seen her in, she's been doing really well.
She's been very dominant over other teams. And now is Stevenson tipped at the net, but Ursuline able to keep the ball in play. Up and directly back. Wiseman, only one in the back row, in the wrong place again. Looks like there will be a substitution for California. Ball served up and out of bounds. That will be an error. We'll see if California can capitalize and get some momentum. Ball served up and over. Set up in the middle. Low set once again to the outside. And that does go into the antenna. And that will be a free point for the Vulcans. Caroline Mercer will go back to the serve once again.
So far, the Arrows have seen that messed up a couple times on their setups.
Kill from the middle of the court going low. Nice diving effort from the Vulcans there. To the outside, Petrosevic denied at the net. Favada with the diving effort is unsuccessful. Petrosevic hit the ball with some nice power on there, but it just bounces off like it hit a wall and just comes right back. Ursuline with a 15-12 lead over the California Vulcans. Served up and over. Set up, and Scammo coming for the back row, unsuccessful. Bump up, and it will be a send back from the middle, unsuccessful there as well. Favada to Stevenson, and that is there in the back row right next to the defender of the Arrows. Be Morgan Johnson now back for the serve. Ball served up and over. Awkward dig there. Diving effort to keep it in the play. It's one more hit to get it back over. Can it? Yes, it can. Set up by Johnson to Petrosevic. Petrosevic aiming that back row, and that is a successful point for the Vulcans as they tie the game up. Excuse me, get 1 point from tying the game up. Johnson with the serve is up and over. High set there. Bump back into the air. Going to be returned to the far side, almost out of bounds, but California decides to play it. Ruggiero sends it back over with one hand. Set, and a direct hit back over Wiseman with the dig. Johnson with the set to Petrosevic. Petrosevic aiming for the back row, but the libero is there one time over the net. Johnson to Scammell, and she just taps that ball.
We see someone just got hurt. I think she stepped wrong, so she fell.
Be an injury on the court. The medical staff will go take a look at that. Of course, we all hope that she is okay. Definitely could have been a chance of just awkward landing. Luckily, it looks like it is an ankle problem, but she is, as it seems to be, able to move the ankle there on the court as she's being helped up and is walking on her own power. A little bit of a limp, but she is walking off the court on her own ability. Hopefully she is all right. Of course, sports are all fun, but there's always a lot of safety concerns, but she was able to walk off on her own power. I feel like she'll be okay.
Yeah, definitely not fun when you get hurt in your favorite game.
Johnson with the serve after the injury is up and over. Set up, and kill attempt is unsuccessful. Nice diving effort from Johnson. Ruggiero tipped at the net, but they keep the ball in play. Sent back over. Nice dig by Petrosevic. Johnson to Ruggiero, denied at the net, but that does go out of bounds. That will be a California point as California retakes the lead. Morgan Johnson, once again, back for the serve. Ball is up and over. And that is a service ace from Morgan Johnson as the ball hits one hand and goes directly out of bounds. California point, and there will be a timeout on the side of the Golden Arrows. Excuse me, just Arrows. So far, these teams have been evenly matched. And while we have a moment, let's look at the leaders for the California Vulcans. Olivia Wiseman comes in leading and kills at 220. Adriana Favada with leading in assists at 358. Caroline Mercer leads with digs at 269. Lindsay Scammell with 81 blocks on the year. And Olivia Wiseman leads in aces at 17 this year. Nice showing from the Arrows so far in this first set. Definitely taking the Vulcans by surprise. California, of course, able to regain the lead and figure some things out on their own.
Yeah, they definitely did not expect that from the Arrows. And it's unfortunate that their team member got hurt, but they are continuing strong so far. And it's definitely a hard when you get hurt in the game and when you have to come back, if you can come with the same force.
Exactly. Biggest thing I have to say for the Arrows is if they can be consistent, because even in their last game alone, a little bit of inconsistency within the points. They played the Ashland Eagles in their last matchup that they had. They did get swept 0-3, but in the first set alone, they only had 4 points, and then they continued to gain points, 14 and 21 in sets 2 and 3. So let's see if the Arrows can either start strong and continue to stay strong, or if they will fizzle out. Johnson with the serve, up and over dugout, set in the middle of the court to the far side. That is a nice point there from the Arrows.
It's definitely nice to start off strong, but then it gets to your head, and then you don't work as well in the next sets.
The Arrows now with the serve is up and over dugout by Wiseman. Johnson sets to Petrosevic. Petrosevic off the hands of the back row. That is a point for the Vulcans. Some substitutions. Petrosevic goes to the bench. Lindenfelser comes to the back to serve. Lindenfelser with the serve is up and over, and that almost goes too far towards the scorer's table, but it will be a free ball back over. Johnson to Wiseman. Wiseman off the net. Can they do something with it? No, they cannot. Lindsay Scammell with a little hesitation as she thinks it's going to go over. Last moment, it drops on the side of California. Arrows with some substitution.
Those hits are definitely hard because you never know what side it's going to go on till it's too late.
Ursuline with the serve is up and over dugout. Johnson sets. Scammell looks like the ball was almost caught at the net, and there's too many touches. side of California just ricocheting, looked like off of every player. And that will be a Ursuline point. Ball served up and over, dugout by California. Wiseman to the back, off the hands, hard, highly into the air. And a nice change up there at last second at the net from Ursuline as Ruggiero sends it to the back row. Dugout in the back, set up and towards the back, and that will be a Ursuline arrow point.
They are really evenly matched. It's a tie point right now.
Ball served up and over, dugout. Set up to the far side. Wiseman with the kill attempt is inbounds. That is a very nice placement of the ball there. California takes out their libero, and there's also some substitutions on the side of Ursuline. Scammell with the service up and over. Really close to the net, tipped there by both teams. It's going to be a free ball out of bounds, and that will be a California point.
Will California take the set?
Scammell with the service up and over. Set. Fake there to the outside, and that is out of bounds. That is a California point. Timeout taken by the Golden Arrows.
Just the arrows.
Just the arrows. Excuse me. I don't know why I keep saying Golden Arrows. Probably because the logo has a little bit of gold in their logo.
I think so.
Just so used to having two parts to a name. But while we have a moment, we're going to look at some scheduling around the PSAC volleyball. Of course, we have this game now against the Arrows. We have the Huskies against Lockhaven. And then there's also the Erie Storm going up against the Edinburgh Fighting Scots. Those are the games for today, all going on right now, actually. So some standings could change within the PSAC West by the end of this game. Ursuline already back out onto the court.
Let's see if after this timeout, will they come back up and take the set from California?
California now back out onto the court. It will be Lindsay Scammell with the serve. Ball served up and over. Popped up directly back down. Nice kill coming from California. 23-19. California 2 points away from putting this set away. Lindsay Scammell with the serve. Is up and over. Dugout. Set up and towards the back, and that is inbounds. Ursuline keeps their first set alive. Substitutions again on Ursuline. Ball served up and over, dugout by Lindenfelser. Set up and kill. Successful. California now on set point. Point credited to Riley Evans. It will be Adriana Favada going back for the serve to put this set away. Let's see if Ursuline can keep their first set alive. Ball served up and over, dugout. Bumped up once again to the middle of the court, going almost out of bounds, but Favada decides to play as Stevenson towards the back. Stays in bounds, and that will be a mistake on the side of Ursuline. California point. They will take the first set. California not coming out with much energy. Hopefully something can change. This game, this first set was a lot closer than it should have been. We'll be back here on CUTV and the PSAC Digital Sports Network.
Season 2 of the Audrey Emmerich era is at hand for Vulcan Volleyball, and you will have the best seat in the house. 12 home games against regional foes and PSAC opponents highlight the schedule. You will be at the edge of your seat at the Convocation Center as you watch the Vulcans fight to the postseason and beyond. All home games will be aired live on CUTV Sports 1, PSAC Digital Network, and CUTV Cable on Armstrong and Breezeline. Make sure to follow Cal Vulcans for up-to-date news and info.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Convocation Center. California takes the first set. Not the prettiest of sets from the Vulcans.
No, it was a pretty close set from a team they did not expect.
No, California, I assume, for some reason, playing down to their opponent. California, like I said, with an astounding 14-4 record against a winless Arrow team. Assuming some corrections will be made on the side of California, I would assume.
Possibly on both sides.
On both sides, for sure. Ursuline seemed pretty confident. Something that I did notice within that first set, there's not a lot of energy coming from the Vulcans. Usually the Vulcans have a lot more energy. Don't know if it's the weather. The weather's getting a little bit colder outside. I don't know what it could be, but hopefully the Vulcans can get back into the groove that they have been in before.
They definitely have, like, even their sideline players, they're not bringing the energy to the room right now. It might be their 6 a.m. workout, like trainings. Who knows?
Who knows? I was even talking to good friend Cortland Turner while we were sitting here before the game started. I said, something feels off in here today. Don't know what it was. Don't know if it's the weather, the lighting, or what. Something just feels off today in the Convocation Center.
It might also be that their last game is in their head right now, and so they can't focus. But it's up to them to bring it right now to be in this game and win it.
Let's see if they can do it. California is back out on to the court. Ursuline waiting just a bit longer before they come out onto the court. And as they break their huddle now, it will be Ursuline with the first serve of the second set. Some last minute substitutions. Scammell comes out for Mercer on the side of California. There's a little bit of that energy coming from Lindsay Scammell. She's, of course, known on the team for having a lot of energy during playing. Didn't see a lot of it just from her alone in that first set. I assume something will change within the second set. It'll be number 4 for the Arrows going back to serve. And here we go in the second set. Awkward dig there. Step to the far side. Kill attempt off the hands, and that is a nice start for the Vulcans here in the second set.
And we can see for the California Vulcans, they're bringing a little bit more energy on their sideline.
Indeed they are. Don't know why they're doing the worm, but it's okay. That's energy, and that's what they need. Set up now to the close side of the court, going far back. Awkwardly off the hands of Wiseman, but Jones sends it back, tipped at the net. Set up and kill attempt unsuccessful there. That is a California point. Nice point for the Vulcans coming off the block. Back-to-back points. Olivia Wiseman back for the serve. Ball is up and over. Low dig there. Set to the far side of the court. Over the block, off the hand of Wiseman, and goes out of bounds. That is a point for the Arrows. Coach Audrey Emmerich, second-year head coach for the Vulcans, communicating with her team on the court. As Ursuline has the service up and over, dug out by Mercer. Set and kill attempt is successful. California points. It'll be Riley Evans credited with the point. She's now substituted out of the game. Awkward dig there. Set to the close side of the court, but that is around the block in play. That is an Ursuline point.
Those looked like to be right on the line. A very dangerous zone.
Ursuline now back with the serve. It will be the libero serving up and over. Dug out by Wiseman. Favada to Stevenson off the hands of the Ursuline player, and that will go out of bounds. Point, California. Substitution coming in for the Vulcans. It will be Johnson and Ruggiero back in the game. And it will be Morgan Johnson back for the serve. Ball's up and over, high towards the bench. Somehow stays in play. Can they get around that antenna? Yes, they can. Johnson to Jones. Jones at the net. Looked like a lot of contact with the net there, and somehow it does come down on the side of California. Point, Golden Arrows.
That last part was a little messy, but Arrows got the point.
Indeed. A lot of bouncing off the net, off players there. Like you said, Ursuline with the point. As they have the serve, as it is up and over. High set by Wiseman. Johnson sets to Scammell. Scammell for the back row, and that is a California point. Credited to Lindsey Scammell.
And that was a great hit by her.
Alana Jones comes out for Bailey Maxson. Transferred here last semester from IUP. Ball served up and over. Dug out. High set. Kill attempt in the back row off the hands of Morgan Johnson and caught by Riley Evans. That'll be a Ursuline point.
So far in this set, that it's also has been evenly matched.
Indeed. Ball served up and over. Low dig there. High set. And the ball goes in, out of bounds. Ursuline with another point. Ursuline looking to take the first lead of the second set. Ball served up and over. Dug out by Pasco. Johnson to Ruggiero. Ruggiero towards the close sideline. It's going to be one more hit to get it back over, and they do. Nice digs there by Maxson. Ruggiero denied at the net. Insane block there by the Ursuline Arrows. Be another lead, another serve for the Arrows. Served up and over. Dug out by Pasco. Set to Wiseman. Wiseman with a nice smack on the ball there to see if she can get into a rhythm here. Hasn't been in much of a rhythm yet.
And there was no one on the Arrow side to meet that ball.
No, there was not. Pasco comes out of the game for Riley Evans. Riley Evans, of course, a taller player on this California team, looking to get some more help on that front line. Set up and kill over Evans. And that will be a point for the Vulcans. Lindsey Scammell now back for the serve. Ball served up and over. Dugout. High set to the far side. Just down off the hands of Scammell. Keeps it off the ground for a moment but does not keep it high. Arrows with the serve. Ball's up and over. Dug out by Maxson. Johnson to Wiseman. Wiseman tipped at the net, but it does drop. Point, California.
It looked like the player from the Arrows expected to come a little bit farther, but it didn't.
Some substitutions. Stevenson and Favara back into the game for Ruggiero and Johnson. And it will be Adriana Favara back for the serve. Up and over. Far out of bounds. One more hit to get it back over. Free ball for the Vulcans. Dug out by Mercer. Favara to Wiseman. Wiseman with a nice kill attempt there. Not coming from the other side. Wiseman keeps the ball in play off the net, and that does drop. Another tie here in the Convocation Center.
This set has also been really close, which is probably quite stressful for Coach Audrey Emmerich.
I definitely agree. California just seems to be off. I can't even tell where. All their players are healthy. And that is a nice kill attempt there by Stevenson. Towards the backcourt, tipped. Nice there by Maxson. Wiseman with a nice kill there. I think that's what they need to continue to do. Feed Olivia Wiseman. It's what they've done all season. It's been successful. Don't go away from it now. Jones comes in for Maxon. And it'll be Wiseman back for the serve. Ball is up and over, dug out by them. It's directly back over to the Vulcans. Set up now. Jones tips it over the block, and that will be a California point as it drops on the side of Ursuline. Some nice back and forth there by the Vulcans and the Arrows. Wiseman with the serves up and over. Low dig there by the libero. Set up and tipped over but denied at the net by Stevenson. Tipped and does an awkward little drop there. That will be a Ursuline point.
California left that space empty, and so that ball did not meet anyone.
Arrows with the serve is up and over. Almost directly back over. Tipped, and just drops. Definitely has to be a little bit frustrating on the side of California once again. Something just seems to be off with the team. Serve is up and over, dugout. Favada to Jones. Jones denied at the net, but Favada able to keep the ball in play. As Stevenson sends it towards the back line, and that stays in bounds. There's a point, California. Served up and over, dugout. Set up to the close side of the court. Kill attempt is off the hands of Wiseman. Goes over Favada, and that will be another point. Substitutions of the liberos. Ball served up and over. Tipped at the net. And that will be a Arrow point as they take the lead once again.
They blocked that ball, and then it got caught between the player and the net.
Libero now with the service up and over, dugout by Wiseman. Favada sends it to the far side, and that will be a point credited to the Vulcans. Sarah Stevenson will get credit for that point. As Stevenson and Favada come out, you know who that means? That means Johnson and Ruggiero into the game.
And they always come in as a pair.
Johnson with the serve is up and over, dugout. High set kill attempt is into the net there. Nice block. And that'll be a California point as there was a violation on the side of Ursuline. Johnson once again back for the serve. Ball's up and over. Awkward dig off the arms going backwards over her head. But she is able to keep it in play as it goes over the net again. Johnson to Ruggiero. Ruggiero so some fire on that hit, and that will be another California point.
That literally knocked that player off her feet.
Johnson with the serve is up and over. Scammell returns it directly back over the net. Over the block there. Jones keeps it in the air. Johnson to Wiseman. Wiseman attacking the back. Libero once again. Picking on the libero just a little bit there. Another point for the Vulcans. Morgan Johnson once again back to the serve. Ball's up and over. Awkward dig there off the upper arm. Denied at the net by Jones and Scammell, but that will be a Ursuline point as it goes off the hands of California directly out of bounds. Substitutions for the Vulcan, for the Arrows.
Now California is only up 2 points. It's been a tough game for them so far.
Indeed it has. As Scammell with the tip, and that does drop on the side of California once again. Painful mistake there, unable to react.
They've made quite a few mistakes in this set.
15-14, Ursuline down 1 point with the serve is up, and that is a service ace. Not really sure what California was thinking on that one.
And we are at a tie, 15-15.
I would not be surprised if Ursuline gets another point if there would not be a timeout taken by Coach Emmerich. Ball goes over the net. Set up to the back, and that tipped at the net, but California able to rally around the ball there as Wiseman sends it towards 2 players, and that will be a California point as Maxon comes in for Jones. The ball is served up and over. Awkward dig there. Set towards the net. And it goes directly back over. Tipped off. Bailey plays it as she should not have, but it stays in play. California able to rally around an error there. And that does go off around the antenna. That'll be a California point. Be Maxon back to serve. Ball over. Looks like a little bit of handoff right there, and somehow Pasco able to keep the ball over the net. Hit into the net, and that'll be a California point. And there'll be timeout taken by Ursuline.
I think this is a much needed timeout for both teams.
I agree. Both teams really don't have a good footing on this game. It's like they're still trying to fill each other out, and usually that's just what the first set is for. And while we have a moment, let's take a look at the team leaders for the Ursuline Arrows. Kills come from Miss McCarthy herself with 95. Assists from Belt, 155. Nubson has 131 digs on the year. Blocks come from Wise at 19. And aces come from Zoker at 11. Especially compared those stats to the ones of California. Definitely a big difference. California has been insane offensively and defensively this year. But there has been a lot of changes going on. Sorry, distracted by my co-host right here.
My bad.
But California is up 18-15 here in the Convocation Center. Both teams definitely needing that timeout that Ursuline called. Let's see who improves most from it. It'll be Bailey and Maxon now back for the serve. The ball's up and low dig there towards the net. Keep the ball in play. It will be directly down. Somehow comes off the hand where instead it goes up, it goes faster down. And that'll be an arrow point. Two balls on the court for a hot moment, but everything seems all right now. And the serve will be up and over. Dug out by Pasco. Set to the close side. Wiseman tipped at the net, and that will be a nice spot play right there. California point. Riley Evans comes to the game as California takes out their...
So far, each team has gotten a point from that timeout, so no one's... If we're counting that timeout, no one came up so far, from it.
Rare sighting here. Nina Conti subbed into the game as she will have the serve. Only a second appearance so far this season as the ball is up and over. High set, tipped, and that will be a point credited to the Vulcans as Ursuline gets called with a carry. Nina Conti once again back for the serve. Of course, Nina Conti is daughter of legendary baseball head coach Mike Conti, as he is here in the stands tonight. Dug out there, set up, kill attempt, tipped. One more hit to get it back over. Ruggiero does. Set up once again, tipped at the net. Johnson. One more hit, and it does go back over. High set there, tipped over the block. Diving effort by it stays in the air, but it does go out of bounds. That will be a point for the Arrows. Coach Audrey Emmerich thinks about a substitution, but she sends her group back. See what the California team can do on defense. Ball served up and over. Dug out by Wiseman. Wiseman with the kill attempt. Almost hits, but nice diving effort there. Tipped over. Conti with the hit. A nice little flick to get the ball back over by Evans. Set up directly back over. Johnson to Ruggiero. Wiseman through the block, and that will be a California point. Stevenson and Favara back into the game, which means Ruggiero and Johnson come out. Adriana Favara now back to the serve. Ball served up and over. Set up directly back over. California was not ready for that one. Bailey Matson diving effort unsuccessful.
That is never expected when the setter just sends it right over.
Ursuline with the serve. Up and over. Dug out by Maxon. Tipped at the net, and that does go over as he just drops on the side of California. Excuse me. Ball served up and over. Matson. Favada. Stevenson. Was it touched? Yes, it was. And that'll be a California point as that ball flies out of bounds with some fury off the hands of the Arrow defender.
And I was very lucky because if that she did not touch that, it would have gone right out of bounds and an Arrow point.
Wiseman with the service highly up and over. Set up and tipped over. Diving effort there by Stevenson and by Wiseman unsuccessful. California needs 3 more. The Arrows need 5. Let's see which happens first. Ball served up and over. Dug out by Wiseman. Favada to Jones. Jones towards the back corner, but the libero is there to save it. Tipped, and that does go in play. Arrow point.
Some sub outs.
Nina Conti comes out of the game. Caroline Mercer back into the game. Ball's up and tipped at the net, but California able to react fast enough, keep it in play. But that was a nice block there by the Arrow.
Looked like Lisa was trying to tip it. Ruggiero was trying to tip it over the net, but she got blocked, and no one expected that.
Tie ball game here as California takes a timeout. California had a nice little lead over the Arrows, but slowly the Arrows did crawl back and just respond like they did in the first set. Of course, a little bit closer here than it was in the first set, 22-22.
Yes, I don't think California expects this at all, like we said earlier. It's probably quite tough on their team seeing this.
Definitely still a little bit of lack of energy coming from both of these, coming from California.
Now, they've come up just a little bit from their first set, but like you can see their energy coming back, but they really need to get focused in this game to win it.
I agree. They had a nice little run that they went on earlier in the set, but died off pretty fast.
Definitely.
California already done with their timeout moment.
But it was nice to see Nina Conte get to play this set.
Indeed it was. Of course, like I said, doesn't get in very much, but when she does, she can make an impact. And here we go. Tie game here. As the ball is served by the Arrow up and out of bounds. That will be a free point for the Vulcans. Let's see if California can capitalize on this mistake.
Those free points are always beneficial.
Ball served up and over. Set up, tipped. Nice reaction there from the California libero as Wiseman sends it back over. Awkward there, and that is a California point. California now on set point. Olivia Wiseman credited with the point there. And there will be a timeout taken by Ursuline. On the side of Ursuline, I understand why you take that timeout. You might be 1 point away from going to a third set. But at the same time, you're just this close to getting 2.
Yes, they've definitely come up so much closer than they were in the first set. And so this timeout might actually really help them.
And like I said, in the last set they went to 5 was with the Erie Storm. they put up more points every single set. They just continue to improve their point output within that sets.
And that is great to see from their team.
Indeed it is. California, on the other hand, really doesn't want to see much more improvement come from this team.
They have improved since last year. They have improved a lot. Last year they didn't have that many wins.
It'll be Caroline Mercer back for the serve to try and send us to the third set. Dug out there, set up and tipped over. Favada to Stevenson, tipped over, and that was a nice diving effort there. Directly back over Wiseman. Favada to Scammell off the one hand, and it stays in play. Free ball back over to the Vulcans. Wiseman, Favada directly back over off the one hand. Sends it back over. Wiseman with the dig. Favada with the put up. And Jones with the final point of the second set. 25-22. California hangs on for just a bit longer, setting it to a third set, looking for another win. And we'll be right back here on CUTV Sports 1 and the PSA Digital Sports Network.
Students, after the big game and the festivities at the homecoming and community dessert reception, come enjoy theater improv, sports challenges photo booth, face painting, puppetry, giant foam Jenga, and much more. Join us October 18th from 6 to 8 p.m. in the Natali Student Center for games, treats, contests, music, and surprises. All ages invited, and bring your Halloween spirit.
Hello and welcome back to the Convocation Center, home of your California Vulcans. California takes the second set, 25-22 over the Arrows.
And that was a really close set.
Indeed it was, just like the first set. A lot of back and forth. No one really going on a run. A lot of tie game, 1 point lead, back and forth, back and forth. It's like a game of ping pong. And I'm trying to watch volleyball, if you know what I mean. If you get that momentum, you should be able to go on a run. But while we have a moment in between sets, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Vulcans. On Friday, California will be at Gannon at 7 p.m. Saturday, they will be at Edinburgh at 5 p.m. And Tuesday, they will be at Seton Hill at 6 o'clock. Exciting schedule coming up for the Vulcans. A lot of beatable teams, but a lot of good games as well getting ready to come from the Vulcans.
Yeah, they've been doing really well this season, as we've mentioned before. And they've only had a few losses, unfortunately. But fingers crossed they get through the next few games.
Indeed. Both teams still in their huddles before we get started here. Just a little bit over 45 seconds to go before a mandatory start time. Of course, it always can start a little bit earlier. But Victoria, if you're on the side of California, if you were Audrey Emmerich, what would you be saying to the team?
I would need them to bring their energy. That's what's, I think, is affecting them right now. They've been playing really well, but the energy in their team has been off today, and so I think that's affecting their game as well.
I completely agree. Both teams are now coming back out onto the court, and it will be a California serve. It looks like a little moment substitution. It'll be, I believe this will be who is taking the serve. It'll be Caroline Mercer, I believe. Excuse me, I stand corrected. It looks like it'll be Adriana Favada going back for the serve, as Mercer just waits to get checked into the game at the start of the set. Taking out Scammell, in comes Mercer. Adriana Favada will take the first serve of this third set. Ball served up and over. Low dig there. Bump towards the net. Far attack off the hands hard of Favada. But Wiseman comes back with some fury there off the hands of the libero. Step to the far side. Around the block, diving effort by Favada. Double. Two players in the same area.
A little miscommunication over there. Usually the second ball is for the setter, but it was right above the other player. And so she just went for it.
Ursuline with next serve is up and over. Dug out by Favada. Wiseman towards the back center of the court, unsuccessful. Bump back into the air. Over. Wiseman tipped there. Favada sends it to Stevenson. Stevenson denied at the net. The ball rolled on it for a little bit and dropped on the side of California. That is a arrow point. Ball's up and over, dug out awkwardly there by California as it goes back over, sliding to get the ball in the air. Directly back over, tipped by Evans. Favada to Wiseman towards the back row, and that is the first point for the Vulcans of this third set. Wiseman with the service up and over. Sliding dig there to the far side now. Over the net. And directly back over. Nice reaction there by Sarah Stevenson. An outstanding player so far this year for the California Vulcan team. Ball's up and over. Awkward dig there, and that'll be an ace by Wiseman. Wiseman is the leader in aces for the team, and she adds another point to that stat. Ball's up and over. Set up and denied at the net, but stays in play. Set up, going for the back, off the tip. That will be a arrow point.
Yeah, it touched the block. It came off the block from California and went out.
Well served, up and over. Awkward dig there, but stays in play. Stevenson sends it back over. Set up now to the far side of the court, over into the block. Another point for the arrow. Arrow coming out with some power here. Ball's up and over. Awkward dig there by the libero. Set up and kill attempt from Stevenson off one. One hand back over the net, and it goes sliding effort to keep the ball in play. Somehow does. Set up and push far back. Favada is waiting. Mercer to Stevenson. Stevenson off the hands hard, and that does go out of bounds off the hands of the Ursuline arrow, and that is a California point.
And we are at a tie of 4-4.
Mercer with the service up and over. Tipped right back down, and that is a nice reaction from Sarah Stevenson. Mercer goes with the serve, is up and over. Dug out there, calling for the ball. And sending it towards the far back, towards the libero. Set up now, Stevenson coming back for another point. And that will be another point as it goes into the stands. Stevenson with another nice point here in this third set. Really starting to show a little something in this third set. Low dig there, directly back over. Scammell with a nice put down, but that is unsuccessful. Getting a little too excited too early as Wiseman sends it back over the net. Libero for the arrow sends it back up, and a nice hard hit from the outside hitter. McCarthy credited with the point, actually gets subbed out of the game. Ball served up and over. Dug out there. Kill into the net. Denied by Ursuline. Ball served up and over. Awkward dig there. Tipped over the net, but directly back over, and that is out of bounds. Points California. Couple substitutions. Casey Meek making her first appearance here in this game with Morgan Johnson. Ball served up and over. Set twice to the close side of the court, into the block. Going over the block this time. It's going to be tipped, and Scammo with a nice play there. Quick reaction there from the setter. Couldn't get a nice, quick, good look at there, but that will be Scammo with the point.
The Arrows did not have as fast of a reaction right there. Missed that dive.
Johnson with the service up, and that will be an ace from Johnson. Morgan Johnson with the ace with another serve on the way. Ball is up and over, dugout. Set up and kill attempt unsuccessful there. California able to get the ball freely back over to Ursuline. Over, but Johnson is there for the play. And that will be in to the net and blocked. That will be an Arrow point.
California is only up 2 points at this moment, 9-7.
Ball served up and over. High set, tipped over by Smith. There will be a violation on the side of California.
And that gives the Arrows a free point.
Ursuline back for the serve now. Ball served up and tipped at the net. But pass goes there for the ball as Smith sends it back over. Set up. Smith with the hit. Johnson to Scammell. Scammell with the point for the Vulcans. It'll be Kay Lindenfelser back for the serve. Ball's up and over. Low dig there. Set and highly sent back over to the Vulcans. Scammell with the one-hander into the crowd, into the fifth row. Oh my gosh, hard hit there. Nice point for the Vulcans.
That was a nice hit, but in the wrong direction.
Lindenfelser with the serve. Set up now. Kill off the net. And only the net as it lands out of bounds. Point California. Ball served up and over. Awkward dig there. Set and ball sent back over to Johnson. Pass go. And that goes directly down. And that'll be a point for Ursuline. Handful of substitutions now for the Arrows. Ball served up and over. Johnson to Wiseman. Wiseman tipped at the net. Awkward little back and forth there. Tipped by Wiseman now. Pass go. Johnson. Meek. There's a California point credited to Casey Meek. Wiley Evans into the game along with Nina Conti. Nina Conti will go back for the serve.
And that is her second time during this game.
Ball is up and over, and that is a service ace for Nina Conti.
And you can see the energy coming back into the Cal Vulcans.
Indeed they are. And there will be a timeout call by Ursuline Arrows. California finally putting some pressure on this team a little bit. Finally getting back into more of a rhythm. You even saw after the Nina Conti ace that there was some energy. If we take a look here at some standings in the PSAC West, Gannon leads the PSAC West with a 14-4 record, 5-0 in conference. Pitt Johnstown with a 3-2 conference record to a 12-5 record. Slippery Rock is next, 2-3 conference. 9-9 in overall. Clarion 2-3, a little bit of a losing record there conference-wise and record-wise at 8-10. California with a 2-2 record conference-wise and 14-4 within all the games played. Of course, 2-2. That's why they seem lower in the standings with an outstanding record so far this year. California, of course, not done yet. They got a lot of time to continue to improve those records. A lot of conference games coming up soon.
Now Nina Conte's back to the serve.
Conte with the service up and over, dugout. High set. Tipped into the net, and that will be another point for the Vulcans. Chance coming from the bench for Nina Conte as she takes the serve up and over, dugout. High set and tipped, and that will be a arrow point. Ursuline with the service up and over, dugout by Lyndon Felser into the net. That'll be a free point for the Arrows. Another Ursuline serve as the ball goes up and over, off the hands awkwardly, but keeps the ball in play. Set up to the close side of the court. Denied at the net. Evans will get credited with the block on that one.
Ursuline is keeping up with Cal Vulcans. They aren't tied, but they are coming up.
Substitutions now. Meek and Johnson come out of the game. And Favada will go back for the serve. Ball's up and over. Set now and denied at the net. That will be a California point. Evans will get credited with the block and the point on that one. Adriana Favada once again back for the serve. Ball's up and over, dugout. Set up and too far, and that goes out of bounds. That was another California point. California now with a commanding lead as the Arrows take a timeout here. Going to this timeout now. California is up 18-11 here in the Convocation Center. California finally with a convincing lead here so far.
Oh, definitely. They've brought their energy up since the last two sets, which is amazing to see.
Indeed it is. Also want to say hello. Of course, I'm JJ Robinson. This is Victoria Lang. Good to see you guys again. Always nice when you can see our beautiful faces on the broadcast. Of course, California leading 2-0 within this game. Looking to close this out 18-11. California is currently already back out onto the court. Ursuline coming back out onto the court now. California looking for the sweep here, getting home early. You got classes tomorrow. Why do you want to stay here longer than you need to? California looking to get out of here with a nice win, especially within this last set alone. Been a lot more convincing than just what the other two sets were.
But Ursuline has been putting up a fight this whole time.
Favada is up and over. Awkward there. One hit and that will drop. That will be a service ace for Adriana Favada. Favada with the service up and over. High set. And off the hands of Favada. That will be a arrow point. Substitution on the side of the Arrows. Ball still up and over awkwardly off the hands of Conti, and that will be a point as a good friend Nate Kurtz gets to get the ball there, give it back to the facility staff.
You just wanted to shout him out, didn't you?
Of course. Why wouldn't I? Good old friend Nate Kurtz and John Sape taking photos for sports info, as that will be an error, and that will be a point for the Vulcans, 20-13. Zoe Smith coming into the game for Lindenfelser. Ball's up and over by Wiseman, dug out by the libero, set up and into a block, but that does drop on the side of California. Point, Arrows.
California has a 6-point lead on the Arrows at this moment. Will they keep this going?
Ball is up and over by the Arrows, set up by Favada, and that will be a nice point there.
We turned that 6-point lead into a 7-point lead now.
Yes, sir. 6-7. And it was, as I get a look from my from the producer here, Gary Smith. Shout out 6-7 jokes. As it will be a serve for Laurel McCirkland, and that will be a kill from the Arrows. Laurel McCirkland making her first appearance in this game, as she is right back out. Ursuline will now have the serve, down 6 points now. Bumped up into the air. Favada sends it to the far side, and that will be a rush. One hit. Can they have it over? With a hard hit back over, and that goes out of bounds. That will be a California point. Johnson and Meek return to the game. Ball's up and over. Set up. Kill attempt off the hands of Johnson. Too far. No one could get there. Not even I could. Of course, I'm standing 1,000 feet away.
Oh, yeah, and you're not that fast.
Ursuline with a point there.
I think you'd get injured going down these steps.
Ursuline with the serve now. Ball is served up and tipped at the net, but dug out by California. Tipped over by Lexi Muck, making her first appearance in this game. Set up and kill attempt over. Unsuccessful there. Tipped into the block. It will be a nice block there by Lexi Muck. Morgan Johnson waiting for the okay for the serve. Couple substitutions. And it'll be Lindenfelser actually back for the serve. Excuse me. Coach Emmerich talking with the officials with some substitutions, it looks like. Making sure lineups are good before we get started. And here's the whistle. And Lindenfelser with the serve is awkwardly dug out there. Can they get it over? Yes, they can. Around the antenna. Close, but they do get it. Wiseman sends it to the other team, and that will be a point. California will now be on game points. And here we go. Lindenfelser to end the game, sends it over. Set up and kill attempt into a block. That will be an Ursuline point. Ursuline keeps their game alive for just a little bit longer.
Now, will Ursuline come up, or will they let California get that point?
Substitutions for Ursuline. Ursuline to keep the game alive. The serve is up. Dug out by Wiseman. Johnson to Muck. Denied at the net.
This is the first time we see Lexi Muck in the game all season.
That is true. This is her first appearance here, of course, dealing with an injury early on in the year. Ball served. Wiseman. Johnson to Meek, and Meek will end the game. Casey Meek with the game-sealing point. California Vulcans win it at home, 25-18. They improve their record, and Ursuline will continue on the winless season. Thank you for joining me, Michael Robinson, and Victoria Lang here in the Convocation Center. Everyone, have a good night.